Hi, everybody. I'm Stephen Borg. I'm the CEO of MelTX. Thank you for Yellowfin for inviting me to this session. We're going to take you through the MelTX journey and what we do around data, AI, and how that intersects to the physical space. As you can see, that the customer experience and expectations around experience is changing, and COVID's driven that as people were shopping from home and using their mobiles more and more, and have become adept to information at the edge and that type of expectation. So we're seeing there's a expectation around personalization. There's, people have been in lockdown. They want to get out there. They want it to be a great experience, as that's what they see the difference being. And we're still seeing where customers do open or economies do open up, that a lot of decisions are made in store. And how do we facilitate that better? That's what we're here to discuss. So one of the things we look at, we see there's such a rich experience on mobile and at home. How do we take all of that and bring that into that physical world where there's multiple challenges, right? You don't have someone dedicated to a device. You have distractions. You have multiple people in the one place. It's not a controlled experience. So how do we get that to be something that's even richer than those two experiences? And how do we maintain attention? One of the ways we do that is provide the right insights, provide retailers the tools they need to understand their customers, to understand what drives behavior, to understand the patterns of behavior that are successful and the things that aren't really working. And right now, when we talk to some of our retail customers, they don't understand that. They think they do, but when we drill down into it, they really do not understand their retail environments as well as they understand their online, web, and mobile. So what do we do as Meld? We teach autonomous devices to see, analyze, and make decisions seamlessly. That means that we put technology in, or we integrate to existing technology, and we sit there seamlessly and really provide that data. And sometimes we provide a method to intervene or create a cause and effect in real time, like you would do on a website or a mobile device, but in a physical location. So when we drill down into it, our role is to unlock the potential of data at that physical location. And we work closely with Yellowfin to represent that in an easy, digestible way, because one of the biggest feedback we have is the amount of data we can generate. How is this consumable? How's it put in a format where multiple departments can use it effectively? And that's where our collaboration with Yellowfin comes into it. What we've built is effectively an actionable platform. So it allows you to look at your physical location, and we operate in stores, we operate in hotels, we operate in government entities. How do you take that physical location and get the best out of it? And we have really three phases. The person level analytics. What are people actually doing? What is the behavior? And is that behavior conducive to our goal? The store level analytics. Is the layout correct? The products that we want to promote or our hero products, are they placed in an area where maybe customers will walk past or engage with other products that aren't destination products? And then the phase 3 is we take all of that and make sure that data is paired with your omni-channel data to try and create a single vision of what customers do, how they behave, and how we can maximize every square foot of space to become actionable. To make this happen, we have an ecosystem of partners. We work very closely with Google. We work closely with Microsoft. Yellowfin is a fantastic partner. They really have helped us visualize our content and allow customers to customize their content. Intel, we work very closely with. All of these edge devices need compute, and they work closely with us to make sure that the compute is the most cost optimized possible. And then Cisco work with us very closely to enable existing networks or existing camera networks to operate our ecosystems. And they make sure that what we do is secure, and it can be seamlessly integrated into the retailers or the target environment's ecosystem. And then we work with quite a few enterprise customers, and you'll see with some enterprise customers, we've done some firsts, but ultimately we work with a lot of partners and system integrators. So there's boots on the ground, no matter what country, and we can extend our capability forward. And some of those partners know retailers more intimately than we do and their operations and how they work. Our take. So we do get a lot of questions around what we do and how we work with cameras. We made it a point when we started this journey to have some guiding principles. And one is we don't use facial recognition. We simply don't touch that space. And even when we're processing our feeds, everything's blurred. We've gone to the extent of making sure even our data that we trained content off or trained behavior is also not real data. So we synthetically created it. So our system does not have the ability to understand things like race or things that might be sensitive. So we've really started from that place of having no human data in how we approach. And it's allowed us to actually provide more data because it's anonymous, it's private, and I'll show you some of the ways we provide data. This is some of the things we do. So every contact we see, we create a unique number. It's not identifiable, so we don't know who that is, but we do create a persona. We understand if they're happy, what their attention time is on a particular shelf, or it could be on a particular piece of content on screens. What are their average visit times, spends, and we do that in spends in a few different ways. And we can even have a look at what type of clothing they might be wearing. So if we're about to do some work with a high street retailer, and in that case, they want to know if a competitive product such as Hermes is being carried, because then they will be able to establish what type of customer and what type of approach. So they're the type of things we do, and we take that into a meaningful data set where retailers can really understand what their audience is doing and not just basing the content on conversion or the data on conversion. Now I'm going to show you some case studies of how we've gone about things and how we're trying to take that experience further. This is one of my favorite ones because we won a Paris Design Award for it the first time we applied. So it's a really good use case, and it's has a responsible approach to analyzing this in-branch data. So one of the first things we did was look at content effectiveness. And we find this often where we enter a customer environment and the content is just not suitable for the area. So for example, the content could be too long for a dwell area. So any of the call to action or the key messaging that the creator of the content wanted you to see, you don't see. So there it has a massive issue in that your network is not being utilized. So what we do is we provide meaningful content about if someone's seen it, if they've watched it all the way through, and what the engagement score is. And then we can live tailor content or do some A/B testing to get that best content appeal ratio, all while analyzing data on those type of audiences that respond to that content more effectively. Okay? And we even find that some content has a different impact based on time of day, based on audience, and even in some cases, temperature. For example, a holiday loan ad might work better when it's hot. And then we do branch level activation. So we look at zones in a branch that allow us to convert. So what type of content do we need? Where do we lay things out? What type of staffing levels do we need? So this is all the things that we look at when we're converting, when we're looking at branch level activation. So we're not just working out who's gone to the counter and what the inquiries are. We're actually looking at the catchment area and how that's being converted, why, and what audiences are working best with that content, layout, and the products that are offered in that location. And zone engagement. So some branches are bigger. What we try and do is look at what is the purpose of that zone. Is it an ATM area? Is it a discovery zone where you've got multiple electronic brochures of different products where consumers can go and discover? Or is it an area that is designed for engagement and consultative? Are these areas working? Is this branch format working? And are the customers behaving for appropriate to the intended purpose? So what we may find is you've created this zone of engagement, but customers actually don't want to stay there. They might like another area where they might sit down and engage. So this is the type of content we understand, we look for, and we provide that live dashboard of what's occurring, what's working best, and we can compare multiple branches, multiple locations, or multiple zones to see how that's working. And does that actually create a lead? Or are they getting through their transaction quickly if it's a transactional type zone? And this is some of the dashboards that our work with Yellowfin allows us to achieve for our customers. We look at the recognition of, what is the response to certain content? What are the activities that triggers? What type of content works in that branch and why? Based on the sort of approximate age of people coming in. Is it a whole lot of young families? Is it, sort of young, single, sort of up and coming? How do we tailor that content? How do we turn that into the right, or have the right product specialists that suit that audience in those locations? And how do we match all that to make sure that we get effective conversion and really maximize that space? Some of this content also is used out-facing. So we actually found in this case that any of the COVID content or any of the COVID advice got a very, very high score, and that's because it was the topic at the time. So they did use this technology for the purposes of, informing consumers about community messages and what we should be doing around COVID. Australia Post. So Australia Post is an interesting one. It has a lot of elements to it, and we're using data in various ways. So one of the objectives of Australia Post is to drive or make it easier for small business customers to effectively use postal services in either a self-service fashion or do the transactional related things quicker. So then it reduces lines, it reduces wait times, and effectively it allows people to do what they want to do in post and have a convenient experience. They also want to inform about other products they have. So when we look at post, we looked at it in multiple ways. We looked at that they have a gadget zone. What type of gadgets sell the most and what creates the most engagement? It's a small area within post, but it's a very important area. And some posts only have one tiny gadget zone. So we need to get it right. So we analyze what gadgets engage people and what is more important to the audiences. We have a parcel area as well. So what we're doing is making sure that when customers scan their parcel, they effectively drop it off, and we can record those. And here's the proof of lodgement. So this was a real key one, that when a product is scanned for postal services, we ensure that they've put it into the chute. This is really important because it allows less steps and allows customers not have to wait at a counter. But we also are achieving the compliance that the postal service needs, that product that was scanned actually went through the chute. So this allows speed, convenience, self-service, and compliance all at the same time. And this is another one we've been working on with Post. This is a very interesting one. It's handwriting recognition and box detection. The purpose of this is to make sure that when you've dropped off a parcel in self-service, that the address is correct. And if it's going overseas, that it asks you the correct questions. Really what this is about is making sure that your parcel gets to the other end, and you've corrected any misspellings or bad handwriting or anything that's going to confuse the system live and in that manner. Now, this one was a massive undertaking, and what we achieved was quite interesting. One of our approach to synthetic data right from the start, it means that we can ramp up, I guess, an artificial environment to create that data. So, for example, in this case, Post gave us 200 parcels, and we quickly realized that we needed millions of parcels, which was physically impossible to do. So we used our synthetic engine to effectively get to create all these variances in parcel technology, parcel sizes, handwriting types, and we really got to 11 billion synthetic parcels in 2 weeks, which meant we delivered the project in 12 weeks rather than 2 years. So this brings us back to the physical presence. So what we do, we essentially bring all that data back, allow you to have actionable insights or affect how content is played on a screen, or it could be a message that you're getting, or it could be a prompt for assistance at the store. So what we do is really bring that all back and make sure that every square foot of space is effective as it can be, and that we understand how customers engage, interact, and play in your environments. Again, we're really excited at this opportunity to present. We have a lot of content on our website. We have white papers from Intel. So please, by all means, jump on our website and take a look. We also have a YouTube channel that shows some of our videos and how we've created these environments with our customers. Thank you.